Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Not sure if that hung up there. My camera took a few seconds to start, which I'm not used to. I'm your host, Frank. American Eagle Rises. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by, checking me out. I know a few of you guys, probably most of you guys that are returning subscribers, reviewers. Doesn't matter if you're subscribed or not. I know a lot of you listen to Raymond Thoughts and Mind, so if you're from there and you're new, welcome. I duly appreciate that. So thank you, Raymond, for the love. And today is Wednesday, Hump Day. Yeah, let's get this stuff out of the way real quick. Yeah, so I'm not going to say I had a bad day at work. It wasn't great, but kind of a mixed bag. Had to work kind of late. It was all right. A couple of guys, they needed some help, so I kind of mentor a couple of guys, and I don't really like seeing people in my group struggle. Some of these people really want to try hard. So, I mean, as much as there's lots of, dark clouds on the horizon, there's a lot of people that want to do the right thing. So, I try to go out of my way and try to help them out. So, but that said, and then I ended up, I hate shopping, guys, for food or whatever. So, I'm like, you know what? I hate doing it like Thursdays, Friday, Saturday. So, I was like, and I'll get into this. So I kind of heard my dad, kind of giving me a, kick, get up, kid, good, get it done. So I went. I feel better, but then man, I had to put all this stuff away, eat. Anyway, now it's like 7:45, and I'm just getting around to making a video, guys, and I still haven't done any of the stuff I need to do on this computer before going to bed. So I'm already getting pretty tired. All right. So again, Hump Day. Couldn't really find anything like big splash America First news. I do have something that I do want to share. And if you guys saw me yesterday, I had this box. So I was wrong. I know it's shocking. Every once in a while, I sometimes don't know. It's actually better. It's not a U.S. Mint set. Come on, focus. Yeah, it's an American Silver Eagle. I'm so glad they put them in these clamshells. So, yeah, sorry if you're a new member. You're like, what the hell? I collect coins, sorry. But this is actually, well, the Mint does make these. They make a bullion version of the American Silver Eagle. And it kind of looks like the Walking Liberty half from 1916 to 1945. I can't remember when the Benjamins came. They made a Benjamin half silver, or a silver $half. And it's got the new eagle. I kind of like the old one, but that one's actually pretty cool too. And it's got the W mint, and this is actually uncirculated, so I forgot that I didn't know when the uncirculated one would come, so they make a proof, an uncirculated, and then I think there's a San Francisco one. There's a couple different ones, but you can't, this isn't bullion, so it's actually quote-unquote a higher premium, so even though it's only 1 troy ounce of silver, although that's 3 nines, so it's fine silver. I think this thing was like $90. Yeah, $90. So it's more of a numistic. I can't say words, guys. So I don't really care. I don't take myself that much serious, even though I can be serious, right? So anyway, that's what was in the box. Yeah, so what I wanted to share with you today. Oh, hang on real quick. I also do a market update, guys. And yeah, sorry you new people. This is kind of what I do. I promise not to spend too long on this, but we have money and we're trying to do finances. I think we should all try. It doesn't mean that it's advice per se. I'm just kind of saying what kind of happened here. So if you're new, I tend to first look at there's a ticker called TNX. That's the 10-year Treasury bond, and that's pretty much the benchmark for notes or debt instruments being traded back and forth between all sorts of institutions. They also kind of use that as a benchmark for home or for mortgage rates. So it can go up or down based on that. So yeah, there was a lot. Oh, maybe not a lot. I thought that was more than. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry. Yeah, it went down 9 basis points. That's a huge. I don't know what happened there. So yeah, it's down to 4.36. The DXY, if you guys don't know what that is, that's it's kind of like a relative strength of the dollar to a couple different currencies. I think it's mostly weighted to the euro. I think there's some yen in there and a couple others, but yeah, the dollar went down very slightly. It's down pretty low right now. And Bitcoin kind of lost a little bit. It's kind of stalling. It can't really break out 105. K, that is. It's not like the hillbilly. What was that? Sorry, what was that? The Hollywood. The hillbillies? Is that the Homefront? What was that hillbilly like? Texas Tea? I'm trying to remember. Oh, the old granny. Oh my god, the old granny was awesome. Oh my god. Anyway, that's a really old movie. It's a black and white movie. It was funny as hell, guys. Yes, gold kind of went up a little bit. Silver, it's kind of weird. The things that would go up based on the dollar going down. Yeah, the overall market really didn't do a lot. So, that's out of the way, folks. So, just wanted to bring you that. If, I dabble a little bit in crypto. It might be a scam. I don't put a lot in there. My overall exposure is relatively small if I take a portion of my portfolio. So anyway, interesting enough, right? I follow Raymond Thoughts and Minds. I love his channel. I love his message. He's building quite the community, and not just any community. Like myself, I'm pretty sure you guys gravitated toward he just says it, right? It's one of those things where you finally just wake up and you're just like, yeah, man, everything's a scam. Everything's a scam, right? But he's not faking anything. He doesn't need to fake anything, right? So anyway, I think that's what a lot of people need, genuine, right? And just, I don't want to say honesty, right? But you're not faking it every single minute. So I'm doing a video yesterday. Guys, watch my video because it was fun. I don't know if you guys believe in synchronicities or like things that appear to be coincidence, but it's just like, why does it keep kind of? It's just sometimes the timing. My personal belief is I don't think everything is a coincidence. Now, is it always a synchronicity they call it? I don't know. But I'm doing a video yesterday. As I'm recording, right, I'm kind of like saying like, hey guys, like I don't know what we need to do, right? Meaning like I think we need to do something. We need to make big decisions, not just individually, but maybe as a whole. And I get done, and I'm posting it, and I finally get back on Raymond's live stream, and then like literally, he starts talking about like most men don't have fire in their eyes, and there's not a lot of people where it's like, hey, I want to follow that guy in the battle. And I'm like, dude, I kind of was just talking about this stuff, right? So I'm like, yeah, I can't. I made the post, and I was like, yeah, I can't. I don't know. Maybe I'm not long for this world, but I can't. It's almost like I can't be dishonest. I can't even do. It's like just the thought. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys struggle with this, right? Just I can't even comprehend it. It goes against everything not only like, like what my father instilled to me, like even my family, my mom, I get it to some degree. We can't be totally forthcoming, but it's just like trying to like get over on people and this and that. I don't know, right? I get it. Maybe that might limit my opportunities, I guess. I don't know. I don't consider that missing an opportunity, Bob. Now if you guys know Office Space. But, he's like, oh yeah, Frank, you got fire in your eyes. And he sent my love my way, and he's like, oh, hey guys, check out his channel. So if you guys were on the live stream yesterday and you're here in this video, thanks for stopping by. I duly appreciate it. You don't have to sub. That's okay. I want to get a message across just like Raymond. He's not in it for the money. He just happens to get money, right? This channel is not monetized by any reason, right? Like, for me, I'm not doing it necessarily for any like accolations or acknowledgement or anything like that. Obviously, it goes a long way motivation wise to keep trying to make videos, but I really want to instill in you, right, that what is it that we all need, right? We all have a different take on life. We all have a different, like, what we want out of life, and we all need different motivations, different things. But one of the things that I still feel this. I don't know. Again, I call it what purpose was instilled into me. I don't know. I feel in my heart to heart that one day I will have that opportunity, but it may be very brief. And I'm still kind of wrapping my head around, maybe I was put here for that the most briefest of moments for my purpose in life. And like the rest is like, it doesn't matter, right? It was just all, your entire life accumulated to finally to your purpose of like literally not even a day. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. Maybe we'll go into that in this different discussion, but feel free if you haven't seen my other videos. I believe that we sorely need good leadership. And when I mean good meaning moral, high standing, have high expectations of just yourself. Let alone, who cares about anyone else, right? But you have high expectations for you. Put that there for yourself, right? But I want other men, and it doesn't necessarily have to be physical or anything. I want you to be inspired, and you don't have to be in a corner and be quiet, right? Take time, try new things. I know it sounds cliche, right? But the one thing that I wanted to add, and maybe I don't know how long this video is going to be, okay? But I really wanted to share this with you. I don't know I just want to share it with you because I think that someone needs to hear this. Maybe it doesn't impact you like it impacted me. But I want to share this with you. I think it's important. Again, I believe we all can be leaders. It doesn't mean that there's always one person that has to be the leader. I think everyone can lead in some fashion, and it doesn't have to be big and splashy. The big tough guy. No. I don't believe in that type. I don't believe in that type at all. Every once in a while, we need a kick in the pants. Figuratively, maybe physically, literally sometimes. But I want to share this with you. And, I might get a little emotional, okay? Because, but when this happened, I wanted to write it all down. I wanted to just take and record it. So I apologize if it doesn't come out in the way that I fully had it. And And when it came out, I almost had like this speech, right? Like I felt like I was at a podium and just, not even at the podium, but I'm just, oratorial, and all the words are coming, they're flowing, and this energy coming. I'm not just standing in one place. I'm just looking to the crowd and I'm boosting them up. But so after that, obviously went to bed, right? And it's like, I think they call it, I'm not an expert at this, nor I do know other people that might tell me that it is or isn't or what that is, but for me it's kind of new. So I think they call it like lucid dreaming. And the way that it was described to me, I don't know. I want to keep the door open, but definitely something is trying to communicate to me. I believe it's God talking to me. And I never thought it would be this way. So, because it almost felt like it was real, right? Like you're not quite asleep, you're not awake, and it seems very, very, you're almost like fully awake, but not really. So Frank, come on, let's get, yeah. So, like the first thing that I kind of like, that I kind of remember, and again, guys, I apologize because I maybe should have a journal. I don't know. Maybe I'll put a piece of paper in they say like when you wake up, try to write this stuff, but it probably take me too long. When I wake up, I gotta get shit going. I gotta go to work. I wish I had the liberty to do that. So yeah, like I just kind of, the first thing I kind of remember was like, I'm kind of like back with my parents, and on like the day before, the day after Thanksgiving, my mom always wanted all the Christmas lights out, right? So it was always my dad, it had to fall on him to do it, right? Well, you got a teenage son, right? You got a teenage kid, right? So Mom, it seemed like she would leave, and I don't know, either Michelle went with my mom, or I can't recall everything, but it's like I remember this, but I felt like it was just today, right? Like I feel like a time warp, right? But it's like I wake up, literally, even though I'm in a dream, I'm waking up in my dream, and it's like my dad, and how like I don't know how your dad was, right? My dad spoke more without saying a word, if you know what I mean. He didn't have to communicate in words to get his point across. That's kind of how my dad was, but it felt like like a big, and I mean like and I haven't felt this type of shove since my dad did it, right? And he's like, "Get up, kid. Get up. It's come on. It's 6:30 in the morning, right? This is the day after Thanksgiving, right? And I don't know. I'm probably like 15, 16, right? And it's like hilarious because I feel like I'm 15 or 16, and I literally I felt this, even though I hadn't felt it since that time, right? But I'm like in an adult body too, so like what is, like I said, so I hear, and that's what we used to do. He would wake me up, and then we would do it like all day, guys. It was all day, right? And I just kind of kept, and then it was kind of foggy. Like I kept like coming into this reality and out of this reality, and then I keep hearing his voice, and it's kind of like his voice, but it's not like his voice at the same time. I don't have I'm having a hard time fully describing this, but I can literally hear. I haven't heard my father speak his voice in. I mean, he died in 97, so I mean, I haven't even heard his voice. I think it was in 90. God, man. God, man, maybe it was July in 96. But I swear I could still hear that from, how long ago was that? 28 years? No, 20. damn, almost 29 years. So it's just, but I could hear it. I could just keep hearing this, like, keep going, kid. Don't stop. Don't give up. And I'm just like, I'm going in between this reality and that reality, right? And then, that goes on for a while, and I'm kind of like, what the hell's going on? And then, like, the next thing I know, right, it's like, boom, boom, and, like, rattling of, like, gunfire, and, and I'm like, like, I'm, like, 18 or 19, right? And I'm, like, in, full military gear, right? Oh, I should have brought my Nerf gun. I have other props, but I don't want to get flagged on here, if you know what I mean. So we believe in our 2A tools. But anyway, so and it's like, dude, it's like, I don't know what, you guys ever see Saving Private Ryan? Like, that opening scene, like, all that gunfire and shit, dude. Like, dude, it felt like that. Like, I mean, I'm not shitting you guys. Like, whatever this was, wherever I was, I think this was God talking to me, and maybe he was using my father's voice and his image and how he carried himself to, speak to me. But anyway, it's just like, you hear all these commands and whatnot, and then it's just like, kind of people are panicking, right? And I'm just like, the hell, where's the enemy? And the next thing I know, it's just like this, you kind of just hear these footsteps, and they're like, just calm, collected, and it's my dad, right? And he's like, hey, soldier, get a grip. Follow me. Like, just, it's like he kind of knows it's me and it's not, but he's issuing a command as if I'm under him, right? And he's like a lieutenant, which is weird because, like, he was a sergeant back then, so, and it's like, it was just that, it's like, I was like super calm, and, I hear his voice, right? And, because he's like, come follow me, right? And then, like, for some strange reason, like, I must be, like, I must have a small squad, right? And I'm like, I'm my 6 men, right? And then we're just going up this hill. Like, I swear to God, it felt like this, it's like, it always felt like we were getting toward the end, like, we're getting close to the peak. And it just seemed like we kept, like, we kept moving. It just kept moving, right? And it's like this, and we're just going up it, right? And it's just like, we're just, every so often we're, taking cover, right? I'm like suppressing fire. So my, again, my lieutenant, but it's really my father, right? Leading the way. Hey, he's going up there, and he's just going to town. It's like he doesn't care about it. And it's just like every so often, he takes like a grenade, he throws it like in a machine gun bunker. It's like boom. And he's like, keep going, man, keep going. And I keep hearing it, right? And like every so often, it's like, kid, on my 6. And I'm just going up there, and it's just like, come on, let's go. And, so this keeps going on in this dream. But like, dude, I don't know what it is. Like, I could feel the reverberations. Like, I've been, I like been drag racing and before. Like, how, like, this shit just, it's like this, like, there's a difference between, like, frequency sound and, like, low bass, right? Like, low vibrations, like I don't want to say like an earthquake, right? But, like, it's not necessarily like dog barking or like it's like loud from that perspective. It's not loud, but it's like you feel it, and it's like you can feel it, like even in your heart, like your heart, right? And it's just, I swear to God, man, it's like wherever the hell I was, it's like I literally was like on a battlefield. Because it's like I kind of remember the feeling, maybe not necessarily all the visions. And, every so often, we're still going up this, right? Every so often, we lose a guy or not. And then we get to a point where it's just like we're pinned down. We're just pinned down. Dad's, he's pinned down. And he's kind of like half exposed, right? And we're trying to get up there, and he just keeps saying, "No, stay there, right?" And he's like up against, like, it's like he's up against this like ledge, right? And they're like just on, they're coming up and they're on top, and they're kind of like looking for his ass, right? He just looks at me, and he's like this. He's got like a gun, and he's like comes up and like this, right? And he's like, no! And we just rush up this like machine gun nest, right? And freaking like bullets are all over the place. I hear like I don't know if you guys been to the gun range, right? Like, you ever like forget to like put, because I've done this before. You don't quite put the ear thing in, right? And you can hear that. Yeah, that's like literally. I like my eardrums were like a little. Again, I like my physical body felt some of this stuff, and I can't explain it. Like I don't know. Like I said, if it was that imaginative view. But anyway, this is getting toward the end, right? So we're going up, and I finally take my little squad and I clear it out, and there's like one more. And then finally, like the top, and what's really funny was like, even though the top kept moving, this time it looked like we were getting closer. Like this has been the closest we ever had, and it almost looked like the Great Pyramid. And you know how the Great Pyramid doesn't have a point, right? So it was like had this landing spot, and it was like there's like this like light, like it was like focusing. Like it looked like a laser, like how like it's really dark, and then like when a spotlight comes down, it was like there, right? And it was like, like I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, well, that's kind of odd because there's like nothing there. Like, why are we going there, right? But I keep, even though like he's there, I keep hearing his voice, like he's like right, like he's talking telepathically, right? And it's more like barking commands, like, don't stop, keep going, get up, don't give up, fight, that type of thing, right? So anyway, finally we got like one more to take out, like one more, because it's like this, kind of like zigzag up, going up the side of this, we'll call it pyramid. I don't know, it's just like I said, as you're going up this hill, it turns into a pyramid, like, am I smoking crack? Again, I've never really had any lucid dreams before it, but I'm trying as best to explain some of this. But we're going to the last one, right? And it's just these last guys, right? And it's ironic, right? Because it's like they're communists, right? And it's like, because he fought in the Korean War, so like a part of that was in there. So it's like, even though I have like modern weaponry, right? Like my dad doesn't. Like he has like his stuff from the Korean War, but he's like kicking ass with it. Like it's like, he's just taking, like every shot he puts, like he's taking someone down. And he's like, every time he throws a grenade, it's like just, Johnny on the spot, right? But these Chinese guys were like mixed bag, right? Some of them had like old, Chinese communist like attire for its time, and like they had like, some of them had like junky like technology from the 50s, but then they had like state of the art like shit from like Area 51 type stuff, right? So like this one, so we're just taking all this fire, and we're trying to suppress the fire, and then and we're just stuck again, and my dad's like, this is the last one, right? And he just kind of, without even saying what he's doing, he just goes straight toward these, pardon my French, motherfuckers, right? And he's just going, and it's just like, we're like turning, like, and I'm just like, no, like, it's like that slow motion, right? And he just gets hailfire, right? And as this is going on, like I'm coming up I'm doing a flanking action with like one squad, and then the other squad, because he's like a lieutenant, right? So there's multiple squads, right? So our squads were like, all right, yeah, he's distracting them, and we're coming around, right? So we're coming around to flank him, right? But yeah, he takes just it's a ton, right? So clear him out, right? We're there, and he kind of it finally does, and he gets there, and he collapses, and like he's like on the side, right? And he sees that we made it, right? And he's just and I'm up there, and he just looks at me, and he's like points to the final top. Hang on. Hang on, guys. Shit, man. So he's pointing, and it's like like he's gonna go, and like these are his last words. You just know it, right? So he's like looks me dead in the eye. He points. He says, "It's your turn." Shit. He says, "It's your turn. I'm right behind you." And in this dream, I did not hesitate. I went up there. I said, "We're going up there." I said, "On my 6." And we went up there, and it was like, we finally get up there, and it's like this, like, shoot. Like, seriously, like how they have those, like, UFO abduction shit? Right? And I get up there, like, it's like everyone's gone, right? Like, it's just this bright, and I mean, like, bright as ass light. Like, bright as hell. There's, like, no one. No one there, just me. And it's, like, just, like, everything's white. It's, like, bright as hell, and it's just white. And you can't, it's, like, it's, like, I don't want to say empty space, but it's just, like, white. And you're just, like, holy hell, right? And it's like you have this sense, like, this is like finally God's, got you by himself, you by yourself, by whatever, right? And it's like I kind of hear my dad's voice. It's like almost like a transition between someone else's voice that I can't quite make out, but it keeps coming back to my dad's voice. And it's just you just keep hearing it. Keep going, kid. Like this time it sounded like it was just like very calm and like soothing. And it was like, don't worry, just keep going, kid. Keep going, kid. So yeah, sorry, I got emotional a few times there. I didn't get emotional when I was thinking about it this morning. But yeah, guys, I don't know what you believe in. God speaks to every one of us in different ways, but yeah, that was some. I woke up and dude, I'm telling you, I wanted to take on the world. I kept hearing his voice today. Everything I did today, So that's just one way. I don't know how things are communicated to you, but man, that told me what I needed to do, or at least, damn, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep attempting, right? I'm gonna, if God was talking to me through my father, well, God God kept pointing. He kept saying what needed to be done. He didn't say it was going to be easy. He didn't say you were going to get any reward, any accolade. It was just be there, do the job. Be there, keep going, right? Like even that last scene when my dad's pointing up, that's even for me, right? Because if I want to be a leader, or I believe as being a leader, you might, this is how I believe, right? I expect a lot and much from my soldiers. I expect even more from me. I will do what I command my soldiers to be. That's what a true leader does. A true leader will show how one man, one person can overcome anything. And even if we don't overcome it, we meet it head on. Courage is acting despite fear, despite being terrified. Most talk to a veteran, especially one that actually fought. Like my dad. I mean, he skinny little guy from West Virginia. You never would think these guys would be this powerful, but I mean, look at some of these guys from World War II. I mean, just killing people with their damn bare hands. Just thank God we don't have to do that, right? I hope not. I hope we don't have to do what they did. But that's my point, right? Like they did stuff that we look back and it's like, dude, this is fiction. It's like, no, man, these people did this stuff, right? And that's to show no matter what it is, right? We're probably our own worst critic, right? Especially men nowadays. We're so pissed on, like, no one gives us any accolades, this or that, or just, hey man, I appreciate you. We don't even hear that, right? So like in our heads, I mean, I struggle with this too, guys. So we all do, okay? Let's be honest, right? But like the greatest generation that fought World War II, hey man, I say this lovingly, they were a bunch of nobodies. I say that lovingly. Maybe you don't understand it. These people they were just ordinary people. They weren't special. That's why we call them the greatest generation. I mean, yeah, based on the results, but no, these people did extraordinary things. And a lot of these people were just 17, 18-year-old kid living on a farm. Right? I mean, my Lord. Like, let's take stock of us, right? We might think we're nothing. If they can do things that no one thought they could do, well, then we can too. I'm not saying we have a solution. I'm just saying, right, find like-minded people. Try to inspire them where they are. As for me, I'm still waiting for that one day. Right? So that dream was very, very, again, coincidence, synchronicity. I talk about a video. Raymond starts saying that, and then I have that dream. You tell me. Am I becoming delusional or not? Like I said, guys, that's a whole nother thing. Like, for a very long period of time, I'd say like maybe in my early 30s, like I like sci-fi stuff and, whatever, conspiracy stuff, right? And they talk about some of these things, and I'm just like, oh yeah, my dreams are like, I go to bed, I wake up, and I never remember any damn dream, right? It's like, oh, it must be nice, right? And like the ones I remember, it's like, damn, I'm glad I'm awake because like I was about to die. You know? And then I have that crazy dream, and I'm telling you guys, like, it's like I forgot about that. I could smell like the gunpowder. I could smell the blown earth. Like I don't know how. Again, I don't know what words to tell you guys. And this is like a first for me. Okay, so the brain can do crazy things. I kind of think it's a little bit of everything, perhaps, right? But why can't God talk to you in ways that you would be receptive of? It would make sense. It makes logical sense, right? Hell, if you ask me, God speaking through my dad makes complete sense to me, right? I look to him. Right, especially as a little kid, right? Your father's like definitely like someone that you want to aspire to be, right? Right, I don't think there's things that I'm pretty sure I can't do what my dad did. But conversely, there's things that I've been doing or I have done that I know my dad couldn't do. And I know he would be very proud of some of those things. Right? I think he'd be very proud of like, hey kid, like man, there ain't no one on your team. And, my dad didn't do well after the second divorce, and like his life was just, what happened to him, I don't want to get into it too much here, but I'm starting to understand why he chose the things that he did afterwards, but I think he wanted to leave the earth, right, and he didn't take the easy way out. He drank a lot after that, and, kind of the things that I remember him for. But his whole life was destroyed thereafter, and he didn't have anything, right? So it's almost like I'm seeing what we're going through now, and it's like I see, and I'm like, man, my dad experienced that in the mid-90s. And that's like 30 years ago. And I'm just like, wow, every day that goes by, it's like I don't condone everything that my dad did during that time, but I can understand his mental state, right? And I think he just, once that happened, his brain just went poof. Like it's just like, well, what's the point, right? So with that said, guys, I know that was kind of a long one. Again, I appreciate if you made it this far. If you're new to the channel, please come back.